Hi guys, Seamus here, back again with the first update on our big rig group build / body build with Jeff or Jeff's Model Garage. Jeff, if you're watching this here, a wee tip here for you regarding those hinges I spoke about before on Facebook. These are the original hinges that they give you. They won't work. I'll show you why they won't work in a second. There's the new one that you're going to have to make. So it's roughly, and I'll just tell you the measurements here. The original part is 10 millimeters long by 4 millimeters in breadth. The newer part I made is 15 millimeters, so the extra 5 millimeters you're going to need. That's all it takes to make the cab tilt, and it's roughly about the same breadth as 4 millimeters. So that wee part there you're going to make yourself. Now it's easy enough to do. Plastic card, just glue the three of them together like so, and once they're all set, put the sandpaper and clean up all the edges and round it if you want. I just round it behind the top, and I haven't done the bottom just yet. Once you get that all glued in place, take your original part. Now try to keep this all on camera. I'll zoom in a bit. Take your original part, I'll keep my big fingers out of the road, and put it on it like so. You're going to see the difference. So get a pen of some sort and just colour a bit in. It's needing extended. Once you do that, just add another 2 millimeters onto it. This pen works. There you go. So add 2 millimeters to it. So roughly it's going to be, I'll just measure it at it again, because if you get these wrong, the cab's not going to tilt, because there's a nice wee engine in this and there's no point in detailing it up and painting and so forth, which you're not going to see it. Let's see, what is that again? So that opening here alone is going to be roughly 10 millimeters. Sorry, 9 millimeters versus the original part, which is only what, 5. So those extra couple of millimeters allow your cab to tilt. Now if you're going to use the original part, this is what's going to happen. Built this one a few years back. I'll zoom out again. You're going to use the original hinges here. See, this is as far as you're going to get with your cab. That's as far as that's going to go. You pull it forward anymore, it's going to bust the front up. Now I've clicked on that over this past few builds or more and adjusted the hinges that I showed you a second ago. So this is last year's big rig. So again, up and forward, big difference. You'll be able to see your engine and so forth. And then back down again. Let's see. So if that's what you want to do, Jeff, go ahead and use the black one. It's up to yourself, buddy. Or just adopt those new hinges for it. I'll send you the correct measurements on Facebook later on tonight. So, but that's out of the road. Oh, sorry, just forgot the wee pins that they give you for it. Or here, to the original part. Now they're a bit tight on it, so they are. Plus, I don't think they're long enough. Now I normally replace mine with wee bolts and a wee nut in the end of it, because they have a habit of breaking after a while. Now because I made this a slightly thicker, your pin goes through, you're not getting much on the other end of it there. So to adapt to that, use a bit of your sprue, put it on the top of your drill, and let the drill spin away. Use a bit of paper on it, sandpaper. I'll bring it down to the shape it goes through at. Once you get it through, use a hot knife or your soldering iron, wherever you have at hand, and just melt the top of it there, and melt the other end of it, so it doesn't fall through either end. Sounds complicated and whatever else, but it's easy enough done, Jeff. Regarding our chassis, we got our chassis all built up last night for it. Back axle, your front axle, steerable. Again, some careful gluing here involved, otherwise you're going to lock it in the driving position straight ahead. Your drop links, or sorry, not drop link, crossbar, it has to be melted on from the opposite side. So to give you plenty to work with, so again, later in a hot knife, and just dab it so the bar doesn't go through. It says here on step 6 of the instructions to glue, let's see if I can show you here quick. Step 6 on our instructions to glue your hinges to the front of it there. Don't glue these on just yet, because if you glue those on, you're not going to get your cab down leveled up in a sense. Those wee hinges go on the opposite side here, the original ones. There's a wee notch cut out either side. There's a wee notch on that, and that glues on like so. Now, if you glue that on, build your cab up and so forth, you're not going to get it lined up on the side. So glue it to this first. Don't glue it to that other part. Glue it to this first. Base of your cab. So as it sits there on top, then you'll be able to put your pins in from the opposite side, or back to front here. I haven't got my supports put on just yet, but you'll see yourself when you come to that stage. If you glue it to that part here first, and try and line this up when the cab's all built, it's not going to work. You're going to find it really hard to try and line it up for those parts. So glue it to this first. That's the original part now. So here is the near part. You can see a difference in length. Then you'll be able to slide your pin through that. So I've skipped a couple of chapters here. I left it last night at the front axle. So we did. Let me just zoom out of again. But see, use lights interfering with the camera. There you go. So last night I left the steering at the front. The next stage on assembly is your engine after stage 2. So stage 3 is your engine assembly. Again, this wee engine is well detailed and so forth. I skipped that section. I went straight to front end here. Assembly for the steering. Now your sump guard underside can be dropped in from the top. I haven't got mine in just yet. It can be dropped in from the top end here. So it is once this is all together. So don't be worrying about that just yet. Now there is a couple of mistakes in the instructions. From what I can remember, it's the discs on the back of the suspension and so forth. What stage was that? What stage was it? bear with me, come on. Where are we here? Might be at the front end. Yeah, there's the door. Part 31A, it's in the column on my, well, basically that's my right hand side, this side. So 31A goes on the opposite side, and 30 goes on this side. So just pay attention to those two numbers, colors. Otherwise, those pins here, let's see if you can see it. It's awkward to show here. This camera on it. Those pins that you can see here are not going to correspond with the wee holes that's in the back of the disc. That's your back end, and that's your back axle and so forth. But other than that, everything else builds together really, really well up to now. As I said, the only thing to really keep an eye out for is those hinges. That's the only thing that lets these particular kits down. Now I know there's a new tooling coming out next month. I'm not too sure what date it is. It's brand new tooling, 100% new tooling. So hopefully they'll have addressed that issue with the pins and the hinges. Other than that, it's kind of very straightforward. When I get to stage 15, I'll let you know what happens there. It's a bit tricky on it, building your front bumper up with your mud guard and so forth. Here, I normally built this all one piece, these three sections, then glue it to the chassis itself. Those at the top, you know yourself, your light bar side, you know yourself when you come to glue them, that has to be stripped down, otherwise your glue's not going to stick to it for your roof bar. So lights, I'm going to send them off till tomorrow morning. You should get them within 10 days or so. So it's just basic package you wanted, so back and front tail lights and a cab light. I have to get mine in full works as usual. Anyway, well done guys. So here you go, Jeff. Just watch out for those wee hinges there, as I spoke to you before about it. So I'll send you the proper measurements on Facebook later on this evening, so you can take it from there. Or if you're happy enough going with your original pins, it's entirely down to you, buddy. Right, no problem. That's me away. So until next time, guys, keep moving, be happy, and speak to you later.